lips shut tight until you go. We come as far as we're ever gonna get until you realize that you should go. Come in misery where you can see us.
Brett is one of those people that you are only going to meet one of in your entire life.
When we first saw you at your audition, you were so Brett. And I've only seen you get more and more and more Brett. And that's all I ever want you to be, is the most Brett that Brett can be.
There has never been, nor will there ever be, another Brett Hildebrand at this school. If we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, I mean, technically there is another student with the name Brett Hildebrand, but I'm talking more on like a philosophical level, if you feel me.
You're so great. You're the smartest person in SAC, by far. You're way smarter than Ben.
He's just charismatic in a different way from everyone else I've ever met. He's probably the most unique person I've ever met, and I say that in the best way possible.
Hildebrand, Brett Hildebrand is really smart and likes decent music. Great drunken historian, inventor of Brett's game.
I've always said that Brett is literally a genius when it comes to comedy. I think that he is the funniest person I've ever met in my entire life. And he can just do it with a look. He can just do it with a random string of words that you don't think make sense at first, but then you think about it and they still don't make sense, but they're the funniest thing you've ever heard in your entire life.
Brett is so, when I watch him, I'm like, man, I need to be more like that. He does so many characters and he's just so much out there, and his mind works in a way that mine totally doesn't, and it's great.
Brett creates some of the coolest scenes in SAC that I've ever seen. He will take it where it's never been before, and will never ever take the direct, obvious route. Sometimes you don't even know what Brett's doing.
This is how Brett enters a scene in SAC.
I'll be Brett. I'd like to buy some tomatoes.
Oh, that's great. We're having a sale on tomatoes today.
How much is the sale?
50% off.
50% off! Wow!
Every time Brett gets excited about something, you can always tell because he goes, oh, and then he pushes up his glasses, and then he says the most disgusting thing in the world, like, poop in your butts.
Brett has the ability to bring back bathroom humor to the point that it's funnier than it was when we were like 5.
I've never heard anyone say, I can't believe Brett said that, how vulgar, inappropriate, like, you just have this way with people where everybody in the room likes you.
You're crazy smart, you're such a brilliant person, and that really informs your improv, because your improv is always really smart and funny.
I think anyone who has ever come in contact with Brett in any way should consider themselves very lucky.
I think everybody in the world wishes that they had a Brett Hildebrand in their life.
Brett was studying abroad when I first made the troupe, and I didn't know who he was. He was like this mythical creature that I heard all about, and I'm so glad I got to experience the epicness of Brett Hildebrand when he came back. And I've had such a fun year improvising and hanging out with and just being stupid with Brett Hildebrand.
Brett, as long as I have known you, I have always really, really wanted to pick you up. Like, just to lift you in the air.
People are gonna want to have you involved with them sexually. I mean, what?
One year at initiation, Brett touched one of my boobs. And I hope he always remembers that, because I know I always will.
I tell you this all the time, and I don't know if you think it's true or not, but you really are one of my best friends. People talk about going to college and finding the best friends you're going to have for life and the guys that are going to be in their wedding, and you're absolutely one of those people for me and one of those friends to me, and I'm so blessed to have you in my life. It's incredible.
Brett is the epitome of laughter. I love you so much, man, and I'll never forget you forever.
I have no idea where that guy's going, but I sure as hell hope I'm there to witness it, because he is... I don't even have words for Brett Hildebrand, but I love him so much. I love you, man. And I haven't even said that to my girlfriend yet, so...
You know, Connor and I never really slept together, so I don't know if I have any stories per se about Connor.
This is Connor's love life freshman year. It goes down and then up, and then down and then up, and then it all falls apart. Get it, Connor? Woo!
You know, we never crossed that line. It never passed platonic. You know, even though you were like, come on, I was just like, it's not there, Connor.
I met Connor when he was playing Naive Replay and they needed an audience member to take him outside, and I was that audience member. But Connor doesn't remember it, but I remembered it because I thought Connor was pretty cool.
The first time I saw Connor, it was at the first SAC show of my freshman year that I went to, and I remember watching him in a scene, and immediately I thought, that guy is probably the coolest guy I've ever met. I want to be like him.
The perfect way to describe Connor, he's the dude who would think it would be cool to wear fedoras at music festivals.
You know, the first time we met was really funny because, I don't remember the first time we met.
We were both initiated into SAC at the same time, and I can't tell you how important it was for me that you were part of SAC, because I needed someone to talk sports with. And it seems so silly and cliche, but to have people that share your interests can mean the difference between sanity and insanity and Linsanity, basketball reference.
When I started on the troupe as tech, Connor was really supportive and encouraging. He was the guy that would reach out to me and text me after a show and just tell me that I was doing a good job. He's very inclusive in that way, and I think he's a big part of what makes SAC feel like such a family.
Cold Balls is coming to the public. Hot Summer Jam 2015. I'm not even still sure it exists.
You've been a great guy. I'm so glad that you're one of my friends. Loved hanging out with you, loved wingmaning for you once.
Connor is probably the most chill person on the troupe, which is great because we need that in SAC, and Connor just always brings this very calm, like older brother type persona to the troupe that is so necessary.
And when it comes to, you know, knowledge of improv, there's no one else on the team that comes close.
Improv risk taker, he does what he must, including insulting ex-girlfriends and getting concussed. But things have really happened.
Connor, you are the most positive person I've ever met in my life. I could come to you with a problem, and it's not that you don't appreciate my problem, but even though I don't think you do, but you turn it into a way where it's not that bad at all, and you just make everything seem so much less worse than it is, which is absolutely fantastic.
When you first got into SAC, it was really cool because you were so appreciative of everybody in the troupe, and you were so honoring of everybody who was in leadership in the troupe. And I feel like over the course of your journey in SAC, you have grown into somebody who is so appreciated.
There's a lot of skill there, and I think that's what's fantastic about you. And you're more than happy to share that skill with so many other people.
You're a very, very funny person. You're also very determined. You're very talented too. Doing Nighttime Neighbors with you was really, you and Ben together, I don't know what to say other than thanks for that opportunity.
Connor Payton is just one of those guys that whenever you need help, he will be there. I had the wonderful experience of working with Connor Payton as co-presidents, and he's just a solid rock that SAC is going to be missing.
Connor Payton and I share a love for music festivals and baseball and his girlfriend Stephanie. And due to those things, we'll be friends forever.
Connor's girlfriend is way, way cooler than him.
You've been there for me through things that I had no idea how to get through. And, I mean, just some of the best conversations I've had in college were with you. And I think we've together defined best friendship.
I'm gonna be really sad when he's gone. He's been in the troupe since I've made it here, so it's gonna be really, really different without him next year, and we're really sad to see him go. He's such a unique part of the family.
Hey, we found Ben at Disneyland.
Benjamin, Ben, whatever your frickin' name is.
Benjamin Yoder. I hardly know her.
Benjamin always looks like disgruntled when he walks in a room. He brings in a lot of energy with him, but he never looks like really positive about it.
Sometimes when Ben talks, you're not sure if you're supposed to laugh or cry.
Benjamin Yoder has a warmth in his heart that I think a lot of people don't notice because he's yelling all the time.
Hey, we found Ben at Disneyland.
Very, very few people get to sit in a SAC meeting, but with you there, it's usually everyone except Benjamin around. Benjamin trying to talk about serious things, and then Benjamin's going, I'll wait.
Here is the perfect way to describe Ben. But I'm serious right now. Guys, I'm kidding. But I'm still a little serious.
From an improvising standpoint, you're a great improviser. Definitely a lot better improviser than you were a host.
We actually found him.
We found him.
I think your comedy is super smart because you are a super smart person.
He's got some moments where I won't realize that I need to be doing something because I'll just be laughing while he's performing, and then he yells at me later for not doing something, and it's pretty good.
I remember walking off stage with you and marveling at you. When I was leaving, I was just like, this guy has become such an amazing heavy hitter, funny improviser. And I can't imagine the growth you had without me getting in the way.
You've done so much. Like, you came so far, really. Just in SAC, you came from, you were a host, and then you got to a full-time improviser, and then you were president, and you just deserve all of it.
Dan makes me laugh so much. All of his stories, he has so many funny stories, and I don't believe his life is real. Like, he lives a hilarious life and is a hilarious person, and I am so going to miss walking into practice and having just this big ball of energy of Benjamin just there.
He cares about the organization, and he's always looking out for the organization, and that dedication is something amazing, and it's something that he's going to be able to carry on.
You make fun of me a lot, but I think the amount of love and care that you've shown me this year has made me feel like we've become like really, really strong friends, and I don't really know how I would have gotten through some things without your support.
Benjamin Yoder is one of my dearest friends because he gives really good hugs, and he once heard me cry over the phone and didn't make fun of me for it. And when I told him I was going to be leaving TCU, he was nothing but understanding. And I owe a lot to Benjamin Yoder.
Can we move on? God.
Congratulations, Ben. I feel like I've been witness to, over the course of SAC, watching you grow into a man, which has been really, really cool. And I'm really excited for where you're going next.
It's a souvenir for when you go.